Light is Britain's far-right conspiracy theory paper spreading hate and vicious lies. No, that's what the BBC say. The Light is the only national newspaper bringing you the real news and informed opinion on what's really going on today. You can subscribe, order copies, submit articles, and read back issues on our website, thelightpaper.co.uk, and see for yourself why the establishment are so worried about the uncensored truth getting out to people every month. The Light Paper. Not far right, just right so far. thelightpaper.co.uk.
Scene script. Have you ever pondered the idea of financial independence and early retirement? The notion of not having to clock in at 9 or wrestle with the daily grind? Imagine a life where you're not shackled by financial obligations or a demanding job. It's not an impossible dream, but a reality for those who embrace the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early. Consider the tale of Jane, a woman in her early 30s. Jane was an ordinary person living an ordinary life. She had a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage, car payments, and a lifestyle that was comfortable but hardly extravagant. And like most people, she dreamed of a life where she didn't have to worry about money. Jane decided to make a change. She began by cutting back on non-essential expenses, saving as much of her income as possible. She invested wisely, focusing on assets that generated passive income that didn't require her to trade time for money. Slowly but surely, Jane began to build her financial independence. She was still working, but she was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. She had a safety net, a cushion that gave her the freedom to make choices based on what she wanted, not what she needed. Fast forward 10 years, Jane, now in her early 40s, had achieved her goal. She was financially independent. She had enough passive income to cover her living expenses, and she no longer needed to work to survive. She was free to retire early, to spend her time as she pleased. Jane's story may seem extraordinary, but it's not unique. It's the story of anyone who has embraced the principles of the FIRE movement. It's a tale of discipline, of sacrifice, and of a relentless pursuit of financial independence. To summarize, the key points discussed today revolve around the idea of financial independence and early retirement. It requires discipline and sacrifice, cutting back on non-essential expenses and saving as much as possible. It involves investing wisely, focusing on assets that generate passive income. But most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing money not as a means to buy things, but as a tool to buy freedom. It's about understanding the true value of time and the freedom that comes with not having to trade it for money. This is the essence of the FIRE movement. It's not just about retiring early, it's about achieving financial independence, about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. Like Jane, you too can embrace the principles of the FIRE movement and embark on a journey towards financial independence and early retirement. After all, the only thing standing between you and your financial freedom is you.
Ever wondered how much you'd need to save to achieve financial independence? The answer lies within the mathematics of a concept known as FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The most essential number in your journey to financial independence is calculated by multiplying your annual spend by 25. Notice the emphasis on annual spend, not annual income. This calculation is based on the principle that you need £300 invested for every pound you wish to spend each month in passive income. Hence, your FIRE number is also your monthly spend times 300. This mathematical principle is founded on the 4% safe withdrawal rate, as defined by financial advisor William Bengen. He proposed this rate after analyzing the S&P 500, which typically produces an average of better than 10% growth per year when studied over a period of approximately 30 years. Bengen considered factors such as inflation and market volatility. After studying previous market activity, he concluded that a 4% rate of withdrawal per year would provide for a 30-year sustainable portfolio in the vast majority of cases. So to paint a clearer picture, if your monthly spend is £1,000, then your target for financial independence is 300 times 1,000, or £300,000. Alternatively, if your annual spend is £12,000, your financial independence target is 25 times 12,000, which also equates to £300,000. The first step in planning your financial independence, therefore, lies in understanding your monthly and yearly expenditure. Without this knowledge, it is impossible to take further strides towards your financial freedom. In summary, the mathematics of FIRE revolves around the principle of multiplying your annual spend by 25 or your monthly spend by 300 based on the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Knowing your monthly and annual spend is crucial in determining the amount you need to save to achieve financial independence. Armed with this knowledge, you can then plan your journey towards financial freedom. Remember, the journey to financial independence is not a sprint, but a marathon. Embrace the mathematics of FIRE and take the first step towards your financial independence today.
Good morning, guys. It is 8:34 on Monday the 27th of April 2026, and that means that we have completed 4 years and 4 weeks of this roughly 8-year FIRE journey, or FIRE experiment if you prefer. If we have a look at the market, it is already open, and the first thing that you'll note at the top right here is that the price has breached the £100 mark. It did that I think before the weekend. In fact, it will have, because as you can see, it's down very slightly from there this morning. So let's have a little look at the portfolio itself. So the current portfolio value is almost 34,000. The return on investment is sitting at 34%. There are almost 339 shares in the portfolio, and the average purchase price is 74.72. So before we look at the notifications, let me just draw your attention to Monzo.
I want a bank that makes money easy.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
Oh.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
No problem, just give us a go. See?
Can you make splitting bills easy?
Super easy, check this out.
But it's a real faff to sign up.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Race you.
You're on.
Can I talk to a real person 24/7?
Of course.
Even now?
Yep.
Even now?
Anytime.
Can you tell me when I'm running a little low on cash?
We certainly can.
Cool. Can I afford these?
You certainly can't, sorry. Can't afford that either.
That's a real shame.
Not really. Time's up, how'd you get on?
It's a draw.
Can you help me save for my next holiday?
Oh, how about you set up a savings pot in the Monzo app called Barbados, baby?
Thanks for listening, Monzo.
We're all ears.
We can go now.
Rude. You make Monzo Monzo.
Okay, as noted on screen, affiliate links are in the description. One for Monzo, there's another for Smarty Mobile, and finally one for Trading 212. And I would point out that that one is only valid for another day, and I don't suggest that you make use of that one unless you've already done your homework and you have decided that Trading 212 is the platform for you, and you were going to be opening an account there anyway. If you do find yourself in that position, I then would say yes, please do go ahead and make use of that affiliate link. We should both benefit from it. On the other hand, if you haven't done your homework, if you are not sure what to invest in or why you should invest, then I would please recommend that you stay away from that until that is the case. These offers do recur periodically, so there's every reason to think that there will be others in future. Now, let's have a look at the notifications. So, biggest stocks before earnings: Verizon, Domino's, Alliance Laundry, ACM Research, Park National. Intel soars 21% as Q1 earnings outpace estimates with strong AI-driven data center CPU demand. Just a quick mention on AI. I recently watched a video with Kathy Wood. In fact, it was the Diary of a CEO, if anybody follows that on YouTube, and Stephen Bartlett, the presenter, was interviewing Kathy Wood from ARK Investments, I believe is the name of her company, and she believes that AI is going to be one of the massive disruptors in markets in the future, and in particular among those Tesla. She had pushed quite heavily. Now that said, Tesla is already one of the biggest stocks in the S&P index and in the top 500. So if you are invested in the S&P 500, you are already quite well exposed to that. Okay, and the last one here, AMD, apparently that stands for Advanced Micro Devices. They're up 7% as robust data center demand and massive Meta deal fuel investor optimism. Now, before we go any further, let's just look. The last purchase price was $99.51. That was a week ago. So in the space of that week, the market is up roughly 70p. And you can see that represented essentially on the candlesticks there. And that is how things look this morning. Now, before anything else, let's go ahead and do our weekly investment. So if you're a regular viewer here, you'll know that each week we invest 120 theoretical pounds into the market. Theoretical because this is the practice platform on Trading 212. I do use Trading 212 for my own investing, but I keep that private for obvious reasons. So we are buying the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund, and at the current market price, that's going to buy us roughly 1.19 shares. Let's review the order. So you can see it's a market buy. I typically trade during market opening hours, and we paid no commission for that. We'll send it through. It has already executed, and we did indeed get 1.19 shares for £100 and 19p. So with that done, a look at the figures on the right show that the figures have updated. The new portfolio value is now over the 34,000. Return on investment just shy of 34%. We have 340 shares in the market, and average purchase price now 74.81. If we scroll down a little bit and look at the stats here, we can see that in terms of the rolling 52 weeks, the market is essentially trading near its highest point. So currently £100 and 20p. The very highest that we have seen recently was £100 42p. And just for context, it has been as low as £79.11 at some point over the past 52 weeks. I think that's really all. Well, let's actually just read out the annualized performance. So going by these figures, and I expect that these are based on literally 365 days ago in terms of the 1 year, and so on. So compared to this day a year ago, the market is up 17.5%. This day 3 years ago, 22.6%, and this day 5 years ago, 14% just. So presumably that was during some kind of a dip for that particular figure. But there you go. Anyway, on the whole, a really positive looking picture. Now, that's pretty much it, guys. If you are interested in following the journey, please subscribe to the channel, and if you particularly like this one, why not give it a thumbs up? And other than that, if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, please drop them in the box beneath the video, and I will have a look at those in due course. But apart from that, have a great week, and I'll be back next week with more. Thanks for watching.
Woke up one morning, saw the world in a new light. No more 9 to 5, I'm living my own fight. I got a plan that's simple, a number game to play. It's the freedom that I'm chasing, I'm walking away. They said it's impossible, just a dream so far, but I've learned to count the cost. Now I'm driving my own car. I don't need a mansion, don't need a fancy name. I've got peace of mind and I'm free from the daily grind shame. It's not magic, it's maths, it's a clear-cut path. Building wealth day by day, it's all about the craft. I've got my numbers straight, my future's looking bright. No more working for a paycheck, I'm free to take flight. It's not magic, it's maths, it's the way I live. Financial freedom's waiting, with all that I can give. I cut back on the clutter, I got my spending in check, investing in my future, no time for regret. The years go by faster, my money is working too. I got a plan that's steady and it's seeing me through. They said I couldn't do it, said it wouldn't last, but I'm retiring early, leaving all that stress in the past. I'm building my empire, brick by brick. The math's all adding up and it's working real quick. It's not magic, it's maths, it's a clear-cut path. Building wealth day by day, it's all about the craft. I've got my numbers straight, my future's looking like it's Matt's and it's mine to take. A life of freedom, no more decisions to make.